So we are here for Mosley's benefit,
Prepare yourself for
who is the Leoric, who has been picked up by an NGS Division B team to take on the solo lane and is in Gold League. And we're going to help them out with their rotations. Here on Cursed Hollow, we're not so concerned about something like a double rotate or anything like that. Oh, hey, that's a cool little spray. Because you can maybe catch XP should it happen to reach a wall and you're pushed out and you can run for it. So we'll watch for things like that since you will be primary XP soaker number 1. We'll take a look at your build, but you also mentioned in your email that you're concerned that you didn't attend team fights at the right times. You didn't know when to leave your lane. And looking here, it doesn't look like you're not fighting a Murky, you're not fighting anything really weird Lost Vikings, so the decision to leave a lane will probably be confusing based on the enemy sticking around. We are doing Renewal, which is actually, I like it. I like it into Lunara. It is fine. For anyone who is Leoric curious, let's do the full breakdown too. So what you're looking at level 1 for Leoric is, am I going to be laning with fealty unto death, which will provide you lots of goods? Is the enemy team frontline heavy, backline heavy? Is there going to be clog? So we're looking at, we can kind of picture this out, right? We got Muradin, so Muradin in front. Then there's going to be a Lucio who kind of runs around the middle, and Diva who runs around the middle. And then there's going to be a Raynor and a Lunara. So this whole enemy team is going to be pretty spread out with 1-2-2. So not a great place for Consume Vitality. We could grab up something like Range later if we really wanted to make it work. But I think you made the right choice here with HotS Renewal, we'll call it. And that reduces when you get regen globes. So still a decent double soak talent, or at least for grabbing things in the area. You are fighting double sustain, which is tough on the Bruiser because it's really hard to tell when you're winning. In burst comps, particularly on Bruiser, you wiggle, you dance around, you're like, oh, don't touch me, or, ooh, I'm going to absorb the burst. I'm going to go in early. You absorb said burst. It hurts. But you come out the other side, and there is a period of like 8 seconds or so, usually on spellcasters, where you're not so concerned about receiving damage because they're not out of juice and on cooldown. In this instance, though, you're going to be getting constantly hammered by the likes of Raynor and Lunara, and sustain attackers are really good at dealing with Leoric because he leaves his body behind. And often in burst like Kael'thas, where there's a delayed explosion, you can do your Ghost Walk. And as you see that circle pop under you, you might end it early and jump out of that Flame Strike that would hurt you otherwise. So leaving behind your body in Wraith Walk is going to be extremely dangerous here because of the double sustaininess. Let's get a big old view on the solo lane. Looks like you're here nice and early. Okay. So minor thing here, you have broken the 3-1-3 lineup that you would have. That'd be real handsome here, like your side has. And you could just use your cleave auto attack to wail on these guys as a whole group. And in fact, if you kind of hug up on this wizard here, you'll be able to cleave the whole thing. Maybe minus this guy who's kind of wandered off to the side. But you have broken a beautiful chance for your auto attack cleave to do its job. And in fact, now you're not hitting the third guy, so it's just a little messy. And speed is of the essence, because double soaking on certain maps, not particularly this map, is very valuable, and everything's about speed in that regard. Played against this Murray pretty well. Don't feel the need to you don't need to put yourself down. Anything like that. You got a nice little drain on him there. He is going to cost you... Ooh, that was weird. That was mana that may come into play later. So if we find yourself in a situation in the next 2 minutes where you needed 50 mana, we could say, hey, mana for mana, that Wraith Walk was silly. But let's see. What do we got here? We got Dwarf Toss at 55 mana. And we got Drain Hope at 60 mana. Oh, so he kind of wins the mana matchup there. But as long as we're giving him a poke every once in a while, like give him a little auto attack, yeah, that's it. That's all we need. It's just a little auto attack to make sure he doesn't proc. Yep, right now he's procking, so you'd want to give him a little tap just to make sure. Let's jump over there and read that text real quick. Muradin restores 62 health per second when he has not taken damage in the last 4 seconds. So if you give him a little if you give him a little bop just every 4 seconds to make sure, you don't have to spend mana on it, just a little bop every 4 seconds or so to make sure he doesn't take a lead in health and recover that too easily. And here in gold, I'm not that concerned about... He's just getting a stack, so that wasn't a scary situation. I'm not concerned that you're kind of pushed out or that you should be freezing or anything like that. Muradin does have slower clear. So if anything, the big thing we're concerned about is that when you finish his wave here with greater efficiency than Muradin finishes your wave, I want to see you go visit mid. If nothing else, then for an orb. And with that in mind, we could go ahead, like right before we grab that orb there, or get this orb that's about to drop on our side, perhaps, we could pop that heal and get running. So you would have this heal as you run maybe down and around. Looks like you're going to go for some sight. That's okay. The trip's down here, so it's not the most valuable thing in the world, but you might catch somebody doing a camp late, and it could be valuable information. Let's see. So we're going to enter a situation where we simply do not... That was cute. Where we simply do not have a renewal used at all. And I'd say right about now we could have used one, and we'd be looking at having one for this next objective. Alright, so Muradin rotated earlier, faster, but we soaked and we pushed into the wall, so we have an XP advantage, so that's all pretty solid. We're not in a huge rush or anything. Looks like a Nubrak used his stuns early on the... There it is, but it's going to be too late. So he was on cooldown for the D.Va pop-out. Hey, nice job, Silver Jackal.
Adequate.
Silver Jackal, huh? Looking around, doing some scouting, doing some warding. Dubrak's the one doing the channeling right now, so yep, you're great doing that bush thing here. You have your Wraith Walk, you've got your heal, so don't be afraid to park a button that, and you're going to run back top. Perfect. There's a D.Va here already sitting on the bomb. Oops. Oh, he did the... Yeah, right. If you're new to Mephisto, that's a great way to do it. Use your Lightning Nova first, and then use your teleport to make sure you don't waste any time in your teleport. But look how this wave is only just hitting the wall here. And Junkrat's going to be able to grab that all. A nice little Drain Hope here. Oh yeah, you did a good job keeping him in range. We don't have any talents or anything like that that make it so completing the entire thing is worth it. Range of Drain Hope, yep, that's fine. That's fine here, given kind of the opponents we're up against. You may be able to stay connected after a lower level Dwarf Toss. He might take that range as the game goes on. I'd say my biggest concern right now is honestly these little tiny Wraith Walks that are costing you 50 mana. Otherwise, Wiggling right now is really good because you're stopping Muradin from getting stacks. He's really low on stacks. Nice connect. It's always costing him a little bit of mana to recover from too, so that's nice. And that's a good discussion in the chat. At this point, 5 minutes in, we have not made use of renewal. We're not using it aggressively, thinking about when orbs are popping up. It'd be a great opportunity to be like, ooh, I'm going to get 2 orbs this wave. Why don't I pop this, take some tower shots while the minions get in range, and like, you know, start thinking about how you can use that health beyond health in these situations. So right now we're out of mana, so we're absolutely going to say, okay, earlier Wraith Walks have led to the situation where we have no mana. Luckily, right now, we don't need mana for anything in particular, but now we're having to bail to the back. So if one of our characters dies down here because we're grabbing a well, because we didn't do it earlier, because we Wraith Walk when we shouldn't have, that's when these things start to snowball a little bit. And solo lane is all about efficiency and doing things quickly. And you've got a Wraith Walk, you should be fine. But look at that whale. Actually, Rainer there doing some steps, and this collapse is actually okay. Nope, never mind. Turns into bad. But you grab a little bit of mid soak. You're heading down bottom. This is all good. I like your. Oh, no, go down. Go down. There's nothing you can do up here. That's just Mephisto being loud. Go get this. Look at that 10. Think about that 10. this has come together. That's okay. Here comes White Mane to soak it. We want to get these orbs and stuff that are being generated. Got a little Neil Peasants action. Murden was actively wiggling there, but I don't mind you taking the shot there, seeing what you can do. I'd say Hearth right now. Maybe one more Neil Pet. Ooh, you can't go through walls. Bummer. So that was a nice little move by Kingslayer there, using a Haymaker. You probably won't fall for that sort of thing again, because that's the one Haymaker of the game that you personally fall for. But I would have loved to see you get in a Hearth there and get back. You can start, yeah, haunting your way upward. We're going in Tomb, which is good. We do need to do the old Testarino, which is like, okay, we're not going to entomb Lucio because it's walls. And I'm pretty sure, off the top of my head, I'm pretty damn sure that Lucio uses walls, even entomb walls, and can get out, and that breaks body blocking. Diva entomb would be bad, because she might be a bomb and turn around the whole situation. We got, is the Sleeping Strike or is the Sleeping Strike? Oh, gosh. So you're being either a cooldown watching wizard and getting something that is already out of juice, like a Muradin or a runaway diva out of mech, or this is all for Raynor. I don't disagree with the pick. I think that March of the Black King versus the Sustainy spread out team would not be the most effective thing in the world. But our options are limited. Like this Raynor right now. Like, look at this collapse we have. That's beautiful. Look at all these people ready to rock. So, well, Junkrat's leaving, but you know what I mean? Like, that right there was an opportunity for that Raynor. And we think of that because of 50-second cooldown. Lucio can't use Entomb. It doesn't count as terrain for him? Okay, so we could put Lucio in there. I mean, granted, he might drop the beat, but that's a problem with no matter what we do. And drop the beat a little early. Okay, let's pop that heal. Right now. All right, we did get it.
You have been slain. No mercy.
That's okay. We got isolated. Those sort of things happen. So we're haunting our way up. I like that Junkrat's here. That's fine. We got this camp going in the bottom, too, so honestly, us having that fight isn't too terrible. We got a half tower there. I would say right now your thought process would be, I can decrease this tower's clear rate and equalize it to my own by getting rid of this tower. So let's use our Neil Peasant's Skeletal Swing. Clear that out. This is already stacked. They don't need anybody to bottom. Let's get some efforts into top, I think. And once we decrease the clear of this wall, it might actually gain favor and do something during the objective. I don't mind what Mephisto's up to, though. He's getting good damage anytime he goes in. You know, that's okay. That's okay. He probably was dead anyway, but, you know, I'm glad we're using cooldowns. There goes Muradin's really shown himself to be a one-trick pony. Shame that that one trick had to fall on a White Mane. But everyone needs to learn their lesson once. That's going to be hard for Nubarak. Oh, some nice noise provided by Mephisto. If we were to be like crazy hard on you, we could be like, all right, you used Entomb on a Raynor that was dead anyway. They were chasing a Nubarak at range. We could have saved a Nubarak. This is a curse coming up. A Nubarak's going to be dead for it. So we could say there is a possible snowball scenario that has now happened with a dead Nubarak because Entomb was used on Raynor in a situation that wasn't warranted. That's all like really above from the sky, bird's eye view kind of stuff here. Now we're finally getting back to the lane that we wanted to get into in the first place, though. So that's the sort of stuff we can be really hard on. And you could even like tank this a little bit. Like, yeah, right now you're doing it. So you've got those rangers in the back, the archers, and they're attacking you and not your lane minions. So you're actually getting some push power there. This is a little expensive. I'd go ahead and grab that heal right now since this is decreased based on regen globes and you're going to get a lot of them. because your side will die really quick and you're clearing the enemy side. What's going on in the middle here? I think you couldn't help. Oh my goodness. Yeah, they're just kind of running rampant. But I don't think you're needed anywhere. There's nothing really you can do. White Main's kind of giving up, which is a shame. But we do keep breaking up these lanes into really weird patterns that aren't very beneficial to our type of clear for Leoric. Man, not a lot we're gonna do here. Not very scared of you at this point, sadly. Oh, White Main flank? White Main. Okay, looks like she thought better of it. So you're clearing the lane around here. Oh, wait, no, they found White Main. Well, this is no fault of yours. Whatever happened there. Some XP hitting the top, so you're gonna go address it. Awesome, okay, I like all this. Now we're on full cooldown. We're ready to rock should something happen. Tire's not going to do anything. Oh, it got hit too. Ooh. It really didn't do anything. Now where are you off to? You nervous about this? I think you keep going up here because of the level deficit. I think all this is going to be delivered to you, and it's rough. I know you probably want to be a team player, and there's stuff in your general area. What did you go with for 13? Ominous Wraith. Yeah, I don't think we're auto-attacking enough to make that happen. Cooldown reduction is kind of cute. Crushing Hope is tempting just because Muradin's getting so much done, but I think you're going about it right. Let's actually see damage, though. Let's see if the enemy damage is... So we got Mephisto. That's all really random damage. Lunaro, Raynor. Oh, it's just a tough draft for Leoric. You're not going to be in contact. 4 seconds on 2 sustains is not going to be a big reduction. There's really no good choices at this level from behind. That's a pretty good prolonged connect, though. Junkrat's really passive, but I wouldn't expect anything more in a kind of Gold League setting at the moment. But he's got some immobiles like Raynor that he just needs to be focused on. We're pretty tightly grouped up. XP is starting to build in the bottom. I think your body here isn't contributing anything, so let's get to another lane and think about 16. As lame as that is, because I know you probably want to be with a team. Keep morale high. Nice little bomb here on the boss, though. That's a nice touch. Ooh, heavy investment without any DPS in range, though, is going to cost Anubarak cooldowns. There we go. That was snappy. That was snappy. I like that. You know what? That wasn't too bad. I do not dislike that. You mentioned that you were worried about a entomb you did on Muradin. I bet you if we went back in time, you probably didn't see the early bit. That could be a problem with your camera. We could say, oh, why weren't you aware of Muradin's cooldowns? But you're all the way down here, walking. Let's, in fact, we can look at your camera here. Yeah, you're tracking yourself. And then you kind of get wiggled around. Do you use lock camera? Because if this is true and you're using lock camera, that's a difficulty because you're arriving on the scene so often in the solo lane capacity. You're double soaking, you're soaking and then showing up for a team fight. That as you walked all the way from here, until we found people in the woods, of course, I would have loved to see you looking up here and watching cooldowns and seeing if that was possible. Raynor caught. You're zoned out. Hey, you know, nice lane clear there during the Diva Bomb. Okay. Okay. Don't call yourself stupid about being lock camera. Lock camera's fine. People play Diablo, right? Like, it's not It's not a big deal. You can stay in lock camera, though, and use the mini-map to move your camera up, so I'd start practicing it. What I'm concerned about here is we're going back now, and what I want to see is some ominous wraithing, and I don't think it happened. Okay, does anyone in the chat know if D.Va's bomb is tethered or snapshot? And what I mean by this is, if you ominous wraith D.Va, does the bomb lose spell power? Or in this case, damage. 50% less damage for 4 seconds. So, because that's how it works on Pyroblast. But Gargantuan's different. So I'm not sure which one D.Va is, and we've just entered a D.Va meta, so I don't know. But the best call right now, either way, would be to not go about clearing this lane. It would be to ominous wraith down here, because your tank is getting wailed on, and reduce the damage of all these guys piled up. And then you'd be back here somewhere. We could then be like, then you would have Entomb because you didn't use Entomb earlier, and we could isolate and blah, 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 blah. And then that snowball thought continues from earlier. But now we made no use of our ominous wraith. We're going to use it to run away there. Nothing happens. We don't interact. Yeah, because it's a summon, right? So does it function as a summon, which would be my assumption, and then therefore it's a snapshot DPS, and we would not lower it. But it also counts as a hero. So could you ominous wraith the? Actually, we might be able to test that if we can ominous wraith the bomb itself. Either way, it's not terribly important. It's not terribly important. The important thing is the snap decision that instead of being zoned out, that we could have used ominous wraith to ghost through the team and helped out Anub'arak in that situation. We just want to know how technically correct we're being. If you containment disc D.Va, her bomb gets frozen as well. What? That's really weird. That's... okay. That's a decent one. Lots of pylon. Man, with 2-level deficit, though, and so much we're going to keep coming at you, nothing happens, so... that's just the dirt of this current point in the game. Looks like Gold Leagues are going to go in and finish it up with their double sustain. Cool.
Blue team is victorious.
So that was an interesting scenario
MV.
where there was a lot of things that happened earlier that caused other things to be poorly timed. I would say, at least on Leoric here, renewal might be a little too activatable bonus button busy for you. So let's focus on something else. I do agree that Mithril Mace, because the amount of auto attacks and sustaining, standing still and actually getting to wail we were actually getting to doing, I don't think it was really all that useful, but it kind of came online at a point that wasn't all that useful in the first place, maybe, so... Royal Focus could help out. Let's see. Let's go back in time a hot moment just so we can click through your talents here. I think I need to go further back. Hang on. Oh, does it lock me out of talents once the core is closed? Okay. A little bit further back. Okay, it's not going to let us go in there. We'll look at the talents on the other screen, though. Let's see some numbers. You were soaking a lot, so I'm not concerned about that. That's fine, given your deaths. Self-healing could be higher if we made good use of renewal. XP is where I would expect it to be. So you got locked out. I think this was a really, really tough draft place for Leoric. I don't like it versus all this bumper cars business. There's not a lot of standstill fighting going on. There's no one who has to make a decision, really, to get out of range or break the hand. But I'm not focused on your draft right now. I'm thinking about your play. Now, let's take a look at some other level 16 talents that may have been a little better, or at least you would have lost a couple seconds later. So normally, you combine Ominous Wraith with Royal Focus. Wraith Walk increases the damage in the next Skeletal Swing by 50%. Each enemy hero hit by Skeletal Swing reduces the cooldown. So this is a 50% increase, which is really cool, because then you can just do Mega Lane Clears. That's not based on hero hits, but each enemy hero hit by Skeletal Swing reduces the cooldown of Wraith Walk by 7 seconds. And so you can kind of Wraith Walk, Ominous Wraith. But that situation wasn't really developing at that point. So just an interesting case of snowballs and maybe a rough place for Leoric in the first place. Let's take a look at your second one here.